Ow! Welcome back to Nails with Her Films. It's your favorite disgrace to society, and today I'm talking about Chainsaw Man. So, Chainsaw Man, the series that can make you laugh, cry, and ask, what the heck is the author smoking? A fast-paced manga with quippy humor that somehow got made into a artsy-fartsy, slow-ass anime. To be fair, I didn't hate the anime, but I remember being so disappointed by the scene where Denji first turns into Chainsaw Man. In the manga, it's like, bam, Chainsaw Man's here. But in the anime, it's more like, he's Chainsaw Man now. The anime is not bad, but it's seriously underwhelming. Since the author is a huge movie fan, let me put it in terms of films. The manga has a very strong B-movie vibe. It's exaggerated, insane, very fitting for a series named Chainsaw Man with an absurd protagonist like Denji. But the first season of the anime is more like an art house project. It's slow, grounded, and focuses more on pretty details rather than big spectacles. It's just not what people wanted to see in a Chainsaw Man anime. I'm a die-hard manga fan who almost always prefers the source material over anime adaptations. But after watching the Reze movie, I thought to myself, wow, this is really good. It might even be better than the manga in some way. So much so that I decided to take a break from yapping about horse girls and talk about why the movie is Chainsaw Man anime done right. Let's get into it. The Reze Arc is one of the strongest arcs in Chainsaw Man. It's a simple story about love and betrayal, featuring explosions, sharks, typhoons, and chainsaws. Now that I think about it, the author is probably a fan of Sharknado. Despite the absurdity, it's a powerful love tragedy. By the end of it, you can't help but hope that Reze and Denji could run away together. The movie follows the arc very closely, and I do think you need to watch the first season or read the manga beforehand to fully enjoy the film. The movie goes into the story immediately and doesn't do any additional explanation for new viewers. Unlike the first season, which eliminated some minor plots, the movie keeps everything and occasionally adds new elements. The pace is still slower than the manga, which is expected since the movie only covers 14 chapters but lasts an hour and 40 minutes. The Reze Arc would probably last 3 or 4 episodes in a regular anime season, so a movie that's longer than an hour and a half is quite the stretch. However, compared to season 1, where the detailed day-to-day regular life scenes feel like padding, I actually like how the movie extends Denji and Reze's interactions before the fight starts. The small details, like Reze scooting Denji over at the cafe, hooking their legs together, really make an impact when she's revealed to be Bomb. Suddenly, all of these small things Reze did were deliberate. In the manga, Denji feels more like a gooner who quickly falls in love with a cute girl. But in the movie, Reze's manipulation is much more notable. I'm not saying that it's obvious that Reze is lying, but rather when you look back, you start to see how manipulative she really was. By the end of the movie, when Reze chooses Denji other than running away by herself, you realize that her manipulation is a double-edged sword. In her attempt to lure Denji, Reze has also fallen for him, and the extended pool scene where they just have fun as worry-free teenagers makes it believable why Reze also developed feelings for him. They also do this for Denji's interaction with Makima, just to a lesser extent since the movie is more focused on his relationship with Reze. I really like how the movie adapts Denji's movie date with Makima in the beginning. In the manga, the date happens pretty quickly. They watch a movie in 1 or 2 pages, even just a single panel, and then they go over their thoughts in one panel. In the movie, the whole date feels slower, giving the vibe that they're taking the movie marathon seriously, not just going through them mindlessly. Their discussion feels thoughtful, like how friends would genuinely discuss a film after watching it. I also like the small detail of Makima taking small quick steps before placing her head on his chest to check for a heartbeat. In the manga, Makima's action seems more like genuine curiosity that's unintentionally seductive. But in the movie, she seems much more deliberate. You can't help but wonder if it's just curiosity or clever manipulation. In season 1, the small details look pretty and the animation is impressive, but I failed to see any significance other than visual appeal. But in the movie, they carry emotional weight. They don't drag the movie despite the slower pace and never feel like padding for runtime. Now let's talk about the second half of the movie, which is essentially a very long fight scene. I'm not exaggerating, but the fight scenes alone make this movie worth watching. Many Chainsaw Man fans, including myself, were pretty disappointed with the fight scenes in season 1. The fights in the manga are fast, powerful, like seeing punches and chainsaws flying out of the pages. Sure, it gets messy, but that insanity is a huge part of Chainsaw Man's charm, and it never gets so chaotic that you don't understand what's going on. But the fight scenes in season 1 are really mid. The animation, something that actually moves, somehow feels slower and weaker than the manga. It's not unwatchable, but certainly very mediocre and disappointing. I'm happy to say that's not the case for the movie. In fact, I will even go as far as saying it elevates the fight scenes from the manga. From the movements, the colors, to the music and sound effects, the fight scenes in the film not only successfully captured the quick, insane dynamic actions in the manga, but they also fully utilize the strengths of animation to make the fights even more intense and exciting. I also like some of the additions that make the fight scenes flow better. In the manga, Denji just attacks Typhoon after it joins the battle. It's a quick and easy fight. Denji just waves his chainsaw around while riding Beam and Typhoon's dead. But in the movie, he makes a conscious decision to take out Typhoon first. This is a minor detail, but I like how the movie shows Denji somewhat using his brain during battle, while also keeping the simple, brutal way he slaughters Typhoon. The animation where Denji and Bing move around in the storm is also amazing. That being said, I do think the action goes on for a bit too long. The building fight between Denji and Reze before he kills Typhoon is completely movie original. In the manga, after Aki saves Angel, it cuts straight to Denji slicing up Typhoon. Don't get me wrong, that building fight is also epic as heck, but I started zoning out a bit toward the end. After the festival where Reze is revealed to be Bomb, it's just fight nonstop. The building scene is still impressive, the animation is also top-notch, but it just gets less exciting after you've been watching over-the-top fighting for over 20 minutes. I would prefer they shave 5 minutes off of the fight scenes and keep the whole movie within an hour and a half. Making a 14-chapter arc into a movie that's an hour and 40 minutes, approximately 5 anime episodes, is really stretching it. There are certain scenes where I feel like I would start zoning out if it went on for any longer. Fortunately, it never happened. The film is smart enough not to drag out the scenes for too long, and the additions don't interfere with the main plot. But I honestly think the movie would be equally awesome even if they cut some of the actions. Additions like the building fight don't take anything away from the movie, but they don't add much either, other than just another visually impressive fight scene. I'm sure there are many people who enjoy every minute of the fight scenes and would disagree with me strongly. Ultimately, this is my personal preference. I don't consider it to be a definitive flaw. I just would have preferred the movie to be more compact. But all in all, I love the movie and it's definitely the right direction. After the first season, my excitement for the anime dropped significantly. But now I'm super hyped for the next arc to be animated. The International Assassins arc has some cool actions and visuals that will look amazing in animation if done right. Now that I've watched the movie, I have every confidence in MAPPA to do the rest of Chainsaw Man justice. That's basically my thought on the Chainsaw Man movie. Hopefully, my review made you more interested in Chainsaw Man. Please read the manga and watch the movie. As for the first season, you can skip that. Hope you guys like my review and nails. I did Pochita dancing, the flower Denji gave Reze, Reze at the pool, which glows, Reze as bomb, which changes color, and city mice. I also did a review for the anime adaptation of Look Back, a one-shot by the same author. Check that out if you like. For my subscriber who are waiting for Umamusume content, don't worry, my next video would be about horse girls again. As always, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment, share, do what you want. Keep nailing it, and don't be a gooner like Denji, people.